Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Reasonable Art 1537, titled Am I the Arsehole for pressing charges against my girlfriend's friend for stealing my doll? I, 26 male, have been with my girlfriend, 26 female, for almost 4 years. Last year I gave her a key to my house. She spends a few days there, but we don't live together full time. A few days ago, I made a quick trip for work. She asked me if she could invite a few of her friends to the house for a girls' night. It was on a Thursday, and I accepted. I returned yesterday in the morning, and the first thing I noticed was that the rag doll was missing from the wall. My first instinct was to call my girlfriend to ask if she had put it somewhere else. She denied it and said the doll was there. It wasn't. I checked the GPS of the doll. Yes, it has GPS. The GPS marked the house of one of her friends. Let's call her Jess. I tried to be nice and told my girlfriend to tell her friend to bring it back before 5 PM, and I'll pretend this never happened, or I'll involve the police. She tried to fight it, but I told her about the GPS. Well, my girlfriend called me back saying that Jess denied having the doll. We had a huge argument and warned her that I wasn't playing about getting the police involved. I waited until 5 and went to the police. We went to her house and got the doll back, and I pressed charges. My girlfriend and I had a bigger argument about me pressing charges. They, including her, knew the doll was made by my father. They could have stolen anything else and I wouldn't bat an eye. I gave her a chance and she tried to play stupid. They have been calling me an arsehole and to drop the charges. Edit. I will answer some of your questions here. If you have more, I will try to answer them. The doll is with me. It's a rag doll. Better said, it's a Raggedy Ann doll. My father had many hobbies. He tried making dolls and was planning to sell them, but the first one he made was a freaking Raggedy Ann doll, so it didn't last. He was too manly to sell Raggedy Ann dolls. Ridiculous, I know. He gave me that one, and actually he made 4 more for my best friends. The doll was hanging in my room, but once he passed away, I hung it in the living room. It has X's as eyes and looks creepy because it looks dead. It has GPS because my home was robbed 7 months ago. I don't care if they clean the house, as long as they leave the doll. I have more expensive items she could have stolen, so I don't know why she would steal the bloody doll, other than a sick joke. My girlfriend never complained about it, at least not to me. I haven't talked to her other, which I assume is friends, other than telling me to drop the charges. I will talk to her tomorrow to find out why she let her friend take the doll. They've been here before and never did anything like this. And about our relationship, because right now I'm thinking of breaking up. So clearly with them edits, there's been some questions about the girlfriend not liking the doll in the house, and that was kind of what I was picturing in my head. I'm not like excusing it, but that sort of scenario went through my head, that they was having this girls' night in, they were all talking, and then one of them looks up at the wall and goes, "What's the creepy doll doing there?" He used creepy himself, by the way. And girlfriend maybe said something along the lines of, "Yeah, it really freaks me out and I don't like it in here, etc, etc." And so one of the girls said, "Look, I'll get rid of it for you." Or something along those lines, you know. I totally just completely made that scenario up, but it was in my head. But Probody says, not the arsehole, your girlfriend should not be taking Jess's side on this one. She's supposed to be your partner and you're supposed to be able to trust her. Her friend stole from you. There is no disputing the facts here. What Jess did was not okay, and if your girlfriend enables her, it's time to cut and run. Arwen says, not the arsehole, your girlfriend's friend had the choice to do it right, but she chose not to return your father's doll. She has to deal with the consequences of her actions. However, your girlfriend's behavior to side with her friend is really a breaking point. No trust, no respect. Trust and respect are difficult to rebuild in relationships. You need to have a serious conversation with your girlfriend. Second Cup of Coffee says, wondering if the friend took the doll at your girlfriend's urging. You would make some sense out of this, along with how strongly your girlfriend resisted your getting it back. Reddit reports cases of people stealing or destroying very personal objects kept by lovers fairly often. It is such a mystery as to why people feel the need to deprive a loved one of an object of great sentimental value. Comes across as some kind of jealousy or competitiveness. Your girlfriend's abuse of your home, your stuff, and her lying to you is important to pay attention to. How did the friend of your girlfriend even know what the doll was about? Why did either of them care, and Why did your girlfriend stubbornly persist in denying what happened? One more comment from Then Return, who says, not the arsehole at all. My boyfriend has a racing simulator that looks like a game, to be honest. I hate the stupid thing, but he values it highly. I know this. Anytime someone comes over, even kids for the first time, I tell them not to touch the sim. On rare occasion that someone has touched it, I absolutely flipped out on them. And it doesn't even have a deep-rooted emotional value to him. It's just something he cares about. He didn't even steal it. He also has a bit of stuff that he has left of his deceased mother. And if someone dared touch that while visiting me in his home, let alone stole it, that would be the last time I ever saw or spoke to them. Being in your home with her friends, she had a duty to protect your personal belongings, especially ones like the doll that have such sentimental value to you. She sounds horrible, honestly, especially for not being angry at Jess with you. There is no respect. She is definitely the arsehole. Yeah, man, racing sims are expensive. I've got like a really cheap one. I can't fit a big one in this room, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would get a bigger one. But OP updates the post and they say, I hope I do this right. Before the update, I want to give some context about why the doll is so important to me and to correct myself for saying he was too manly to sell dolls. My father got sick just before I was 15, kidney failure. He retired and filled his home with hobbies. A year after his diagnosis, I came from school one day and he was finishing the doll. I asked him if he was going to sell it. He said yes, but not anymore. I asked him why and he replied with, who would buy a doll from a man who looks angry 24/7? Before his diagnosis, my father would have laughed about it. He would have made more to fill a big box, knock on every door and sell them all. But now, he was worried about what people would say. If he could sell them. Anxious, less energetic, less confident, doubtful, afraid. None of this was in his mind before. The illness was not only beating his body, but also his mind. We thought we made peace with his disease and the time he had left, but reality finally caught up with us. It was a turning point in the way we move forward. I have other things my father made. I carry some with me. Others are in a safe. I tried to put the doll in a box, in a closet. I even tried to give it away once. I just don't have the heart to do it. It gives me peace to see it out there. The tracker may seem excessive, but not for me. My ex knew about this. The update. Many of you hit the nail on the head. My ex came over yesterday. She was a mess. She explained that she actually had a problem with the doll, but instead of telling me, she went to her friends. They told her that it was creepy, weird for a grown man to have a doll, and that I was too attached to it. This only reinforced her feelings. This was a regular topic between them and they came up with ideas to get rid of the doll, but she never followed them until Thursday. Her friends were fed up with her for not doing something as we were planning to move together. Before they left, my ex and Jess talked. They agreed that Jess would take the doll and my ex would take care of the rest. My ex forgot the GPS and when I confronted her, she panicked. She actually called Jess and told her about it, but Jess told her not to worry, that I wouldn't do anything about it, but she obviously was wrong. I broke up with her and she tried to plead and even suggested couples therapy, but I just couldn't stand being with her anymore. I called Mr. Lawyer and told me that we can continue with the process but nothing would come out of it. Even with my ex's confession, we will try either way. I've already changed the locks and I'm buying cameras for the whole house. I'd like to thank all of you who took the time with my mess. I never thought this would get the attention it got. I'll try to answer more questions if you have them. I hope everything goes well with you all and thank you again. We have another update to this in a second, but I gotta ask before we go any further is, what was the end game to this? Like the dolls on the wall, girlfriend knows is sentimental. Even if it didn't have the GPS in it, boyfriend is gonna know it's disappeared. It didn't just suddenly jump off the wall and run off. Although that may be one of the reasons the girlfriend was probably scared of it. But, you know, talk about it. Say you're not comfortable with that on the wall. Yes, there's a chance boyfriend will go, tough shit, it's my apartment. But he also might say, I understand, I can move it to another room or something like that. Just communicate. That's all they had to do. But instead, they chose to fucking steal it off the wall and then try and hide it and possibly destroy it further down the line. A sentimental item. Something that means so much to the boyfriend. You Burke. Anyway, I'm winding myself up. Let's go to the next update, which says, I got this secondhand from one of my ex's friends who was part of the whole thing when she came over to apologize. Jess made a post Monday on Facebook trying to gain sympathy. My ex called her out. The other 3 friends who were involved also chimed in and they tore each other apart. Other friends from them who didn't know about it got the whole thing from the post and they were cutting them out. Some family of Jess and my ex also got involved. I don't know the details of it, but Jess's parents and my ex's family personally came to apologize yesterday. Then a new update which came 7 months later and said I got messages asking how I am and what happened to my ex and her friends, and here it is. Jess, aka the thief, like I said before, it was difficult to achieve something, so nothing really happened to her other than public embarrassment. The other 3 friends, aka the accomplices, the last info I got is they all reconciled as friends after their boyfriends broke up with them, but they still don't talk to the thief or my ex. My ex, aka the doll hater, she tried to contact me for a few days but couldn't reach me, so she tried something else. Due to the robberies in previous months, my neighbours were paying constant attention for any suspicious activity, and they let me know there was a weird lady roaming the streets in different cars. It was my ex. It was difficult to get a restraining order, but I did get a no contact one. She was served at her parents' house. They later visited me to let me know they're going to make sure that their daughter doesn't bother me anymore. The last info I got about her is that she changed jobs and moved out to another state at some point of last year. Myself, after everything was settled, I took a position that was open in my job that requires constant travel, but ended up returning to my previous one because my life took a wild turn when I found out that I'm going to be a father. A single father to be exact. My friends got me a great lawyer and things are going terribly well, as she says. So yeah, I'm excited, scared, and I'm still freaking out, but I like to think I'm doing it in a good way. There you have it. A commenter says to OP, I'm glad you went well. A few questions. Did the grooms end up with the accomplices because of the doll issue? And you updated us on all but the doll. OP says I have no idea if they broke up with them because of the doll. The only thing I know is that it happened 2 to 3 months later. The doll is doing fine, it's sitting on a bookshelf in my home office. The commenter says, also, do I understand correctly that OP is having a kid with a nutcase ex, or is it with someone else? And is mum not planning to be in the kid's life? OP says it's not with my ex, it's with someone else. Yay for condoms and its bloody 98% effectiveness. And no, the mum is not planning to be a part of the kid's life. We both have lawyers, we already have an agreement in place, and we are following it. Gee whiz. Now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, before we do get into this story, I do want to give you a warning. It does have a trigger warning on it of animal cruelty, so if you do want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. But let's get into it. It's from I Live With Cats, who says, am I the arsehole for kicking out my cousin's boyfriend, even though it's my cousin's house? This happened an hour ago, and I haven't told my cousin yet. My cousin Yana lost her parents when she was young. Her parents left her with a big house, almost like a mansion, and a lot of assets and money. She's a few years older than I am and graduated early. She's also very successful in her field. Ever since last year, I've been living with her since my college is 20 minutes away. The condition was I take care of her cats for the most part when she's at work. Most of my classes are online. By cats, I mean 15 senior cats with special needs or special medications, 3 foster kittens and 2 other cattos without health problems. She has the space and money to take care of them all. She also has a vet regularly come in. My job is to feed them, play with them, give the older ones medicine, clean the litter, make sure nothing is off with the very old ones, and etc. I take my job very seriously, and I love these cats to death. Yana has been seeing this guy for a year or 2. An hour ago, he dropped by to wait for Yana and surprise her by taking care of the cats. He kept pestering the cats, forcing them to cuddle with him, doing that machine gun cat video thingy, recording TikToks of him scaring the older and skittish cats. He almost kicked one of the kittens really hard because he was chasing around another cat. I've been telling him off and trying to give him one of the cuddle bug cats, but he just wants to terrorize the skittish ones. The last straw was when it was time for meds. Some of the cats are on meds for the rest of their lives, and I'm really scared to miss one of their doses. This dude catches the senior cat, manhandled the cat, the poor old gentleman peed on him, he lets it go and started to yell at the cat. That was the last straw. I understand I had no right to kick him out since it wasn't my house, but I just got so angry and started calling him names and told him to get the fuck out. He wouldn't leave at all, and I had to ask the neighbor to help me drag him out. A very nice dude. And well, now he's threatening me to have my cousin kick me out, and texting me that I had no right to kick him out. And I'm also an arsehole for getting strangers involved. I don't think I was an arsehole, but it wasn't my house in the first place. Am I the arsehole? Now immediately this makes me want to step into your cousin's point of view, and I would appreciate you doing what you did. What he was doing was scaring those cats, those senior cats, to the point that they're peeing, and just being downright abusive towards those cats. So in my opinion, and I'm hoping in your cousin's opinion, you did absolutely the right thing here. And maybe I would even contact her before he does, just because I wouldn't trust him to give her some bullshit story before you start talking to her. I've just seen it one too many times on these posts. But Prop says, not the arsehole. You are to protect the cats. You did your job, but more importantly, you did what a decent human should do. If your cousin takes his side, I'd be utterly disappointed. Slapper Frap says, not the arsehole, but you need to call your cousin before he does if it's not too late. Also have a word with a neighbor so you guys get on the same page when talking to your cousin. Your cousin is obviously fond of cats and even has that extra in her to take care of a clouder. Especially the elderly cats. She needs to know what he did and just how assholish it was of him. I mean, making TikToks with senior cats like they are machine guns. This dude's an ass. I just had to Google what a clouder was. I never knew a clouder was a group of cats. Learn something new every day. I love it. But Future Direction says, I like the way one other commenter worded it. As soon as you can, say to your cousin that I might have overstepped my place, and if so, please accept my apologies, but then explain exactly what her boyfriend was doing and how you asked him to stop but he ignored you. Let her know he was intending to post TikToks of her cats and she should see if she can find the videos. He might not have posted them or deleted them. Then ask her how she would have preferred you to handle the situation. Lisbeth says, be the first to talk with your cousin. The dude is bound to make things up to her to make you look like the arsehole. Your number one job is to care for the cats and you definitely take it seriously, which is honourable. This bozo is downright dangerous with the kitties, especially for the medically fragile ones. I'm not sure what exactly is helpful about taking over a job that's covered well by you. He could have taken out the trash or washed her car or something. Not the arsehole, this guy is a bully. One more comment from Limitless Megan who says it's not your house but it is your home. And your job is to ensure the cats are being cared for and are well. The key here is that you need to talk to your cousin before he does. You need to send her a rundown and everything that gained, and that because he was upsetting you and the cats, you asked him to leave, then forced him to leave. Tell her you apologized if she feels you overstepped, but you honestly didn't know what else to do. You hope she understands that you were trying to do what was best for the cats. Then you guys need to have a talk about boundaries. Like, he shouldn't be able to just walk in the house and hang around when you're the only one there. And what does she want you to do in a similar situation in the future, etc.? Not the arsehole, because you live there too and deserve to feel safe in your home. But have a talk with your cousin, lay out boundaries and protocols for the future. Either way, you keep saying this is her house, and if you are only a guest, you compensate your cousin for your housing. The work you do would cost her a good chunk of money and is valuable to her. She deems it a fair exchange, and you should too. So OP does update the post and they said, sorry for not responding to the comments. I got extremely anxious about the situation. My cousin called me as soon as she was done with her meeting. I frantically explained the situation and apologized for overstepping my bounds, but I thought it was for the best that he got kicked out. Once my cousin got home, she checked up on all the kitties and talked to the neighbor. Neighbor explained that I was begging for help to get this guy out of the house because he was harassing the cats. Neighbor knows we have a lot of cats because of an outdoor netted catio. Well, I'm not sure what he said, but she dumped him. She said I did the right thing and thanked me. All the locks have been changed just in case. All the cats are okay and back with their happy little routine. Sounds like a pretty good ending to get rid of that guy in the end. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. And don't forget, at the very end of the video, there'll be a couple of playlists there that you can click on and it will automatically scroll through all the videos for you. So whatever you're up to, doing a bit of cleaning, maybe something boring, maybe you're at work, maybe you're driving a digger like the other guy did that time and sent me a picture of it. I love that. Don't forget to let me know what you're up to at Mark Narrations on Twitter. If you have a moment of your time to share it, would absolutely love to see it. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love to you.